Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to Talk Together. I am Josh. I shall be your host for tonight. I use he, him pronouns, and as you can see, I am joined by the other members of Resurgence of the Silver Siren. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we're here. We're going to be talking about the events that happened in what was started as a 4-parter but ended up as a 6-parter of Resurgence of the Silver Siren. Before we do any of the chatting, we have some sponsors and supporters to thank. Our sponsors are Phoenix Dice, and our sponsors are Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, because this is D&D, and Bearded Ladies. Links to those will be in the description below because we are on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you could please leave us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, post a comment and do other things. It helps the algorithm, helps us know what you like and what we should be making more of. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. We love them. They are the best. Nat's going to do it and there's going to be some love hearts. Yeah, there they are.
Yay!
They come out of your nose for some reason.
That's where my love is.
Nat's love comes out. Put that on the wiki. Speaking of the D20 Club, they made us a wiki. They made us a Discord. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. But I think that's everything. I haven't missed anything, have I? No. Let's go into it. So, Sean, who, what, when, what, where?
What?
Who, what, when, what, where? How did the idea of Resurgence for the Silver Siren come around? As Josh loads up the questions that he completely forgot that he needed to have loaded up.
So professional, so slick, so smooth.
So Resurgence of the Silver Siren was actually always in the back of my mind when I was doing a Feltide Rising. Like in a lot of ways, this is the stuff that I couldn't fit in to Feltide, which I'm pretty certain was a 4-parter. Much like this one was planned to be. And yeah, I just had lots of stories to tell, lots more things, which is why kind of I was laying breadcrumbs in a Feltide Rising for the Silver Siren. And yeah, this is the realization of me being able to come back to Kithis and explore a bit more.
Awesome. I have to say that it was, I think because we always do Stars and Wishes after each of the sessions that we record, and I think the star that was said throughout all 6 sessions was how well you built this little place up and how alive it felt with all the different locations that we could go to. The head, shoulders,
and all
knees,
the
toes.
characters.
Yes, that
all
as
the
well.
characters who all were anagrams, and you didn't set any of them as challenges for us to figure out during the streams. But like at some point, there were too many other things that I was like doing my own little like web of trying to figure stuff out. So I didn't actually sit there and work out the anagrams at some point. But I hope there's someone in the audience did. But I'm sure they'll all be on the wiki as well at some point.
Yeah, once they've all aired, we'll stick them all on with spoiler alerts.
Yes. So what we're going to do, what we usually do in a talk together, is we will roll a D20 to ask various different questions for end of campaign-ness. As this is an end of campaign thing, we shall be doing that. Does everyone happen to have a D20, or should just one of us do it?
I can do.
Oh. Well, Sean, I think being you're the DM, let's have you roll first.
Go for it. That is straight down the middle, a 10.
Oh, lovely. So this is a question for the players. If you could pick an NPC from this campaign to play as a PC, which one would you pick? Now, there is a plethora. Now, let's not say Ninetales, but let's go for the individual ones.
Oh God, I don't know which one was which class.
It's true.
You can say the Warlock one and I'll fill you in.
Yeah. Evie?
It's Turkey Priest.
Turkey Priest.
Turkey Priest. Oh, yeah.
Can you do the voice, though?
Probably not. Never tried before. Won't try again now.
That's fair. I wasn't gonna ask you to, but I think that would have been a hilarious reveal, I think.
I mean, if you're committing if you're committing to playing that character, though, I feel like you should have to, right? It wouldn't be the same. That's the whole charm of the Turkey
Okay.
Priest.
I would do the voice. That's the entire point. However, I would have prepped for it. I would have lines to get into the of the goggle of it all.
Sure.
It's definitely something to practice behind closed doors, and
Exactly.
totally something that I did to the bemusement of my wife. Yes.
Who would I play? I don't know. I think the Turkey Priest is an excellent shout. I love the idea of Ninetales, like the original Ninetales that we saw. That's very like the very swashbuckling one. Well, they were all swashbuckling in a way, weren't they? Or trying to be.
Mhm.
Okay, so it was Inigo was the first one we saw, right? With the fire scar.
I never divulged it. I deliberately kept the very first one generic.
Right.
So could literally have been any of them, except with the exception of Isabeth, because we're throwing insults around. Yeah, I don't know. In my head, I think I thought that the first one was Edith, who was the rogue, who was the actual swashbuckler.
Yeah. I think
Makes
that's the thing.
sense.
Like, I've played a swashbuckler rogue before and it was really fun, but I think like Tessaelin didn't have that sort of attitude, so I think playing a full-on proper like thigh slapping Robin Hood style swashbuckler rogue.
Weiss.
I think I would have liked to have played the Sahuagin priestess. There was she put up with a lot of like interesting indignities, like you pickled onion related, and spent a whole episode in a barrel. And I have to wonder like what kind of conviction that she's doing the right thing. There's a lot of moments where I've like record scratch, how did I find myself in here, that must have applied to her. And it would have been an excuse to have Sahuagin on the on a character sheet, which is unlikely to ever happen again, unless I know that I'm coming back to this town.
Awesome. I think mine would have been Drew. Just because I want to know what the stats are for a were orca. And also big chunky. So that would have been mine. Sean, they were all your NPCs, but which one would you have played?
The one that I was waiting to see if anybody mentioned was Harper, the young cleric of Talos. Well, I say cleric actually. I was thinking if I ever did make him into a PC, I would probably go Storm Sorcerer. So Tetch was the more kind of, properly ordained, like an actual cleric, whereas I figured he's more of a kind of keen amateur. So yeah, Storm Sorcerer would probably have. And in fact, if I hadn't already been piloting, at 1.9 NPCs, I probably would have thrown him into that final fight as well. I thought 9 tails are enough.
Fair. So I would have thought like maybe some kind of bard cleric crossover because of the rapping.
Well, it's not good enough to be a bard. Not proficient in rapping, but does it anyway.
Trainee bard.
I mean,
Blood Sorcerer would be quite a strong combo, though.
Yeah.
After every episode, of course, I thought of like 100 different things I could say with the character for these encounters. And for Harper specifically, I think Warren would have recommended that he become a paladin. There's some conviction behind that rap, as rough around the edges as it might have been, that really would have gone, that really could have taken him places.
So,
Is there a subclass of paladin that would work as a rapper?
Oath of the Rap coming to Patreon soon.
I mean, you face the wrath of your god and just go out and.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
Harper was a sorcerer who was looking to multi-class into bard. Just hadn't quite got there yet.
Yeah. No college would accept him.
Oh,
Poor Harper.
Right.
Very sad.
I think we should move on to another question. Going by how everybody is in my Zoom. Evie, would you like to roll?
Yes, I would.
Roll that
Roll
dice.
that dice.
Dice.
As you can tell, audience, it's been a long time since we've done a talk together. We've forgotten how to do it.
13.
13. So this is a question for all of us. What was the most surprising moment?
I mean, I think some of the things we've already mentioned, I think to do with the NPCs, like the turkey priest was such a delightful surprise. And then Harper coming out with that terrible rap was also a delightful surprise. I think all those little details that you added, Sean.
Elevators. Going up to the lighthouse.
Yes.
That was a great sequence that I wasn't sure anybody would survive. Yeah. Like I couldn't follow the rules for these things. And I mean, the characters were mostly safe. Other people were the ones that went, wow. Crazy, but
I can't remember if we ever actually on stream went into the kind of mechanics of the elevator. I think we did it afterwards.
we
off
might have done it after
there. Because it was two wizards either side casting enlarge reduce on the rocks. So yeah, just literally just counterbalancing, and then feather falling to make sure you don't die on the other end.
Yeah.
An important step.
Yeah. You know, for a pair of apprentice wizards with literally probably only 2 spells in their employee handbook.
Did we ever
I
work
love
out? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I love that idea of like in a world where magic is predominant, not every magic user is an adventurer. So what jobs can be taken over by magic to make this sort of like COD Renaissance world like just a little bit more modern. I thought it was brilliant. Just the equivalent of like working at a theme park almost for trainee wizards. Like you've got to go and do your time on the lift before you get to learn your 2nd level spells.
It looks very good on your wizard college application.
Yeah.
absolutely.
How long do you think they would have to do that for? Like, do they just spend one summer doing it, or?
I feel like it would be like a module to tick off. So I think it would just be
Right.
like a summer, and if you do it well enough, then you get the recommendation. But if you don't, you need to go back and do it again, however many times until you get it right.
Yeah.
Exit interviews from the other patrons would be key, I guess. How was the ride smooth? How green were they all on the other side?
Did we
Maybe
ever
there'd be a
work
lift
out?
exam.
Yeah. Did we ever work out what the wee noise was on the rocks?
Yeah, it was Magic Mouth. Someone had kept graffitiing the rocks so that they would make the noises when they were going up and down. And yeah, they tried dispelling it a couple of times, but someone kept coming and putting them back on, so they just gave up after a while.
It's a mystery in and of itself that we could solve. Another job for the hootenannies.
Yeah. If they stay together, that was one of the questions that we were like, would they? Would they?
Don't see why not.
I mean-
Keith is the one that would be in my mind potentially trying to get away at the first opportunity.
Oh, yeah, Keith is torn from backstory reasons that you all know about because we covered it in great detail.
Yeah.
But also because Emphia is there. So, very torn.
Wow.
It's difficult,
Ooh. Don't feel love right there.
That owl cares very much for Keith, I think you'll find.
And yet said you could have holiday, except you're still making me all of my drinks.
Because no one else would do it right. Because it's a testament to how good Keith is and how much he appreciates his work and his craft.
That is just what an Emphia would say.
I mean, to be fair, she's got a lot of planar exploration to do anyway. I feel like she'd be really keen on the idea if and when a mystery came up, but otherwise she'd be like just completely like toddler in a shopping center. Like you turn around and she's gone. She's found something she's found a tavern that's got karaoke on to go and sing in. She's off exploring.
That'd be fun if we just keep showing up at running into each other at parties with no explanation.
Yeah.
Like different kinds of events. So maybe the next time is a funeral. I don't know.
Maybe.
At a sweet 16, which is all there.
Warren, what are you doing at a Sweet 16? I've never been to one before.
Yeah.
Like, learning how to DJ. That might be.
That leads into what my surprising moment was, which was the song.
Yeah.
The song was good. The song was excellent. The way that and I think I kind of knew the song was coming, behind the scenes sort of thing, but Sean's voice was not what I was expecting. Those tones was like melting butter. So
It's almost like Sean is a man who has been on the stage before, Josh.
yes,
Wild, huh?
yes. But whenever Sean speaks about these sorts of things, like in chats and stuff, I always think that Sean's directing them, because you come across as a director more than a performer. So,
I mean, to be fair, the last thing I did with my theatre group, I was directing, but I've only directed twice. Other than that, I like to tread the boards. I've been thinking about what mine would be, because I think one thing was probably if you went for about 3 episodes without taking the opportunity to kind of go off to your hotels, have a rest, let me give you the level up that I'd promised. So I think it took me 4 episodes before I was like, right, quickly, short, like have a long rest so that you can all get this level up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was you kind of you did this, and then you took the priestess here, and then down to the beach, and then up. So I think the thing that you all did that surprised me was when you went to visit the lighthouse. I thought, okay, yeah, that's good. That's all, within. I can get Nine Tails in to get the ring before you can get to it. I did not expect several of you to be like, oh yeah, I can fly, leap out after them, and I'm just like, oh, now what do I do? And then obviously ending that episode with Nine Tails going down, and then living with that for, I think between recordings it was 4 weeks. So 4 weeks.
It's a long time.
Yeah. I said to everyone, like, please save my cat. I'm very upset. Because I don't think that Ian, who was the cleric, I can't remember if level 5 is high enough that she could have been revivified.
Revivilated?
I think 5th
Because it's a level 5 spell, isn't it?
No,
level
Revivified's
5,
3rd
yeah.
level.
Was it 3rd?
Yeah, I think
maybe
it would be high enough at being a 5th level cleric. Just
Okay.
I have played too many clerics to not know this by heart by now. Sorry,
I
I've
could
let
be
everyone
wrong.
down.
I could be wrong. Chat, let us know if.
So I always forget which one's the one that you have to do within a minute, and then which one's the one that it can be any up to a week or something, but then you re-roll a race. Like
Revivify is the minute,
reincarnate.
and reincarnate is the changing
Yes.
who you are, sort of.
So just remembering a home game where we used reincarnate on the soul of the princess of Timantha, who was a dragonborn, and she came back as a fairy.
Oh wow!
It's quite
Nice.
a tickling moment.
That's great.
That seems like that would be like Tina's origin story.
I was once
Yeah.
a dragon, and now I am a princess. And then I was not a princess anymore.
Evie, did you answer your surprising moment?
I don't think I did. Sorry. I think it would be the Silver Surfer, the betrayal, the town crier. Also, the Silver Surfer coming in from a different universe and popping out again. Just
Yeah.
for a moment.
Yeah.
I missed it, but it's fine.
Just Galactus looming in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, I'm impressed that I managed to get through the episodes without saying it. I just tried to avoid saying the title, to be fair.
We also missed out on the opportunity of you accidentally calling it Silver Surfer and then referring to ourselves as the Fantastic Four,
God
Very
damn
true.
it.
Ah!
which I entirely blame Sean for.
Yeah, no, that is reasonable. Sorry.
Oh, there's so many references that we could have done. We could have gone to see Doctor Doom when Isbeth went down. Oh.
Okay. Tangent question. Who would be who in the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Who
I
would be-
think
Ooh.
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 I think it has to be said that I think Warren would be the Thing.
Strength
Yeah.
based.
Yeah. I think Brienne would be Sue Storm, because Sue doesn't generally fight. She's more utility and trying to protect them and trying to stay out of trouble, and that's what Brienne did most of the time.
Sorry, I'm now just imagining Emphia as the Thing with the fan. And it's just
No.
it's clobbering time.
beautiful.
It is clobbering time.
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe
Sweet.
Brienne Human Torch, because
I was thinking that.
yeah, like when the moment you went not Super Saiyan, being the kind
Silver
of
Brienne,
one.
I'm going to call it.
Silver Brienne.
Whereas Evie, like Keith, was the stay out of trouble support person.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
but plausibly Mr. Fantastic.
Yes, I was going to say Mr. Fantastic for Keith.
You know, long reach.
For doing science.
Ah,
The
yes,
big
the
science.
sciences.
Yeah.
It's the science stuff.
Yeah, I don't
surprise as
know.
well.
Where does would Emphia be the Thing, or more than Mr. Fantastic? I mean, she's very fantastic, but
Johnny Storm's up for grabs if we did go with Josh's original suggestion.
Yep. Johnny Storm would work. Your Emphia got everywhere. Went supernova. Dazzles everybody. I think that's
Very Johnny
plausible.
Storm, yeah.
Very Johnny Storm.
Yeah. If you're going by abilities, then it would be what Sean said, Brienne would be Johnny Storm. We literally just said the name and it went out of my head. But yeah, Brienne would be Johnny Storm and Keith would be Mr. Invisible. And then it'd be I think we'd need Warren and Emphia to fight over which one they wanted to be. Which one of them
Or
wanted to be the Thing.
We could be one of the guest stars too. One of us could be She-Hulk. One of us could be
I would-
Wolverine.
I would say let's keep Warren as the Thing, because it's much more sensible. Whereas Emphia, out of all of them, is the most likely to cause the others to go, "What's she doing now?" Which I think is the more relatable to the Human Torch.
Yeah.
Also, we did have the moment with Warren where we found out that he was sensitive about his appearance, which is a very
Right?
Thing subtext as well. I like this
There you
question.
go.
Keep it in.
Solid.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I think it's probably a good thing that we didn't connect the dots and start naming us the Fantastic Four, because the amount that the boo counter would have gone up by just by all of the Fantastic Four puns. At the time of recording this, the final episode hasn't actually gone out yet, so we don't know what the final count for the boo is, although it will appear somewhere now with whatever the final count will be. If we'd had the Fantastic Four stuff in there as well, it probably would have doubled. I think.
I don't know if I know Fantastic Four well enough to riff off of it that much, though.
No, I'm really reaching for these references, trying to remember. Okay, I saw this movie when I was 8. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too early for the reboot.
Yeah. And like Fantastic Four was one of the ones that was like obviously pushed a lot earlier before the MCU became a big thing. And I just kind of remember feeling a bit like, well, the woman one is not that impressive and she doesn't get to punch things. I'm quite happy over here with X-Men, thank you.
Yeah.
Is my general experience with Fantastic Four from from being a kid.
My main thing is just it's clobbering time, which is what Drew would have said the entire time.
Yeah, fair.
My kids loved the original Fantastic Four movies. I thought it was funny that Chris Evans was Johnny Storm.
Mm.
You sort of see it like you've bridged the gaps from the Fox universe versus to the MCU.
I feel that this could be a tangent or a conversation that we could have and could probably take up the entire length of a talk together on its own. So I think we're going to move on. However, I made a small mistake in my intro before Nat rolls a dice. For those of you who are watching us visibly at the moment, you will notice that we are
Dressed perfectly normally, and because Nat walks around with a rather large hat on her head in the house every day. Yeah, don't you?
I just about keep the hair on my head. But yes, we are wearing fancy clothes. We thought it would be fun to wear wedding-themed sort of clothing. This is what to be fair, I did get married in a black shirt. So yes, this is what we thought we'd, I'll share that with everybody now.
Seeing as
Nat,
we
you can roll
began
your
and
dice.
ended with a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to clarify, this is not what I would wear to a wedding, but I wanted a nod to Emphia with the hat, and this is the biggest hat I own. So I don't know what this is. This is some kind of summer goth meets. I don't know what this is.
Birdie
I would
exec.
not. Birdie exec. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Two styles that really go together well.
To be fair, you pull it off.
Thank you.
Help
Thank
me,
you.
yes. Thank you. Would you like to roll a dice, Nat?
Sure.
Roll
Uh,
that dice.
Roll that
dice.
dice. A
Nice.
17.
17. Question for the players. Are there any choices you would change in retrospect?
Yes, I would have had a more solid idea of who my character was from the first game, from the first session.
You were upset at quite how flirty Keith was.
Yeah, I feel like
Pretty
I found
legitimately.
him as it came through. But in the beginning, I was just kind of rolling with it, thinking, I'll be fine this once if I don't have a solid idea. And then it just, I don't know, something about this campaign just brought flirtiness out in me that I didn't like. And it just happened. I don't know.
But it did give you the opportunity to show us. So that was Keith's retail persona, and then actually allowed you to show the side of Keith, which was, I just don't like talking to people, actually, which I think every retail worker has.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody stares into the distance who has previously worked in a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone dreads dealing with an Emphia.
Yeah.
The new Karen.
Is
I'm writing a
Emphia,
lot. I love Emphia. It's just, the retail relationship. It
Yeah.
awakens
I understand and appreciate. I was actually having this conversation earlier with someone where we said that actually bring back national service, but it's not military. Everyone should work in hospitality and catering for 2 years.
I've been
Like
saying
everyone.
it for a long time.
Yeah.
Beat that dang, horrible side out of everybody early on.
Yeah. Like, good for you, service workers. You're doing great.
I
Appreciate
could
you.
not go back.
the Faerun version of Karen is Emphia.
No, I don't. I'm going to defend Emphia in this instance, because actually, what did she do for Keith? Yeah, okay, maybe she got Keith working at the end, even when he was having a day off. But she did get him that day off, and she was aggressively supportive of everything he did. She was aggressively complimentary on everything that he did, and she called out bullshit where bullshit needed calling out.
You did boss him around from the beginning, despite not being his boss.
Yes, yeah. But
And
did he
essentially had to-
enthusiastically go along with that?
I don't think a yes, ma'am counts as enthusiastic.
No, fair. But I don't think that's Karen behavior. I think that's, I don't know, Emphia behavior.
Emperor is a sub branch of Karenism.
I still reject the connection to Karens. How dare you? my precious lady.
They can use their Karen powers for good, as Emphia does. As I'm not going to say what I was going to say on camera in case this person sees this ever, which they won't. But I know someone that has used their Karen powers for good, as well as for evil.
Okay.
I mean, once you've done your good deeds for the day, you can spend the rest of the day evil. That is how it works.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it
Okay.
balances it.
Fair. I will say, with all that being the case, though, would I make any other decisions? Were there any moments I wish I'd done? No, I regret nothing throughout this entire campaign. I own my choices.
I honestly think, I'm the same. I don't think there was anything that. I think maybe once. The one thing that I would have changed in retrospect would have been actually finishing the investigation, which was probably the only thing, was finding where the rings actually were.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We had a
Kinda
shifting
ran
set of goals.
I should have shifted it to an 8-parter.
Ah.
Got to that and then to 12.
I mean, I do know what is in the bay. If anyone ever did, because there was at one point where you were like, I'm prepping water breathing just in case we go down under the water. Like, I did know what was down there because I was like, eventually someone's going to decide to go down into the water. It wasn't the last party. It wasn't this party. Maybe in the third part. Who knows?
Third part confirmed.
Well, I mean, the water. I mean. When does this go out? This goes out afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Afterwards. So I mean, there's a lot more bay to explore now. So we could there'd be awful good reason to go down there and see what's what.
We had a lot of other priorities to get through, didn't we? So
we did.
And also people who are not keen on water.
Yes, lots of birds.
Go on, Steve. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, it's not really like anything I would do differently. As maybe the character. I think Warren was a little quiet up front because, like Keith, I was sort of finding the character as we went, and I continued my trend of being a prop based role player. I had a lot of fun when I figured out what I could do with the Hat of Disguise. What I was allowed to do with the Hat of Disguise is like a character bit, and then I was like, oh, I think I know where I'm going with this character now. And maybe I wish I'd had that thought a couple episodes earlier, but otherwise I thought we're muddled through, quite nicely. And you can't help bad die rolls, so that's that's just it.
Part of me did wonder towards the end if Warren was just the ultimate troll. He was just there to troll everyone. I did wonder that at one point. I was like, no, surely not.
No.
I did really enjoy how aloof you were and how much you enjoyed, particularly Keith and Emphia being like, why are you here? What are you doing?
What? That was great. I did appreciate all the sketches. I appreciated all the theories. Helped give me guidance as to what not to say.
Sean, was there anything as the DM that you would have changed in retrospect?
Honestly, things went pretty. I mean, maybe I'm looking back on it with rose-tinted glasses because there was a fair amount of time between, when we first recorded the first episode and episode 6. I think the one thing that I wasn't unhappy with it, but the opening scene, I was very nervous. There was a lot that I knew I needed to do, and I think, there were maybe a few things that I should have tried to expand on, should have tried to have. But even then, I feel like I am nitpicking because I did as well as I felt I could. Like, I'm trying to be nicer to myself.
You should.
Yeah,
you
you
should.
should. At that
It was
point,
terrific.
yeah.
Terrific
At that
run.
point, when we did the first episode, we thought it was going to be a 4-parter.
Mm.
So I can see what you mean by, you know, you felt maybe that you had to shorten it down, and if you'd known it'd been a 6-part, you could have extended it. But any sort of nerves or anything did not come across, and the way that you described the setting and jumped straight into the characters was just brilliant. I never, if you hadn't have just said that now, I never would have noticed it. Probably looking back at it, still wouldn't notice it.
Very much.
So
I wonder if that's because you've put so much love and thought into building this world. There's just that sort of, you want to make sure that you present it like the way you see it in your head, and you've put pressure on yourself to do it in a perfect way. But like what we experience. Hello, balloons. I forgot that.
Experience balloons.
I forgot that happens now. The balloons are there to celebrate you, Sean, and how wonderfully you did it, and all of the fun. Like, there was so many details to cram in. But the point is, though, that this is a world that you've built that you can come back to, and you've got it in your head so clearly that for us as players, like, it helps us see it so clearly as well. And it means that if we go over and go, what's in that corner? Can I poke it? You've got an answer to that. And just because you didn't necessarily manage to show us the whole painting in 6 episodes, only 6 episodes, just because we didn't get to see every corner of the painting, like, it doesn't mean that it's not there to be discovered in the future. So yeah, be proud of yourself, sir.
yes, ma'am. Right. Everybody answered, didn't they? Nobody. Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a habit of skipping over people. Steve, would you like to roll?
I would love to roll.
Roll that dice.
Roll that dice.
Roll that dice.
Might take this
And
hand.
that is a 12.
A 12. We
A
are
12.
staying in the 10s range, aren't we?
Oh.
Okay, I read the question completely differently for a second there, but this is a question for all of us. What was the hairiest, this has all gone horribly wrong moment?
Huh.
I'd say, I'll jump in because I know everybody's thinking, I'll say for me was the moment we did the wedding on the beach. We had the plan and everything, and we saw the water elementals. I was like, yes, all right, the plan's coming together. And then Sean said, but there's some people up near the gate. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the moment at which I think, because I don't think any of well, Isabeth going down, I think, was the combat where we were all a bit like, whoo. And I know, like, both Brian and Warren took quite a bit of a beating in various combats, but I think we managed to, like, no one went properly down, did they, other than Isabeth?
Not the four of
So
us.
yeah,
I think Keith was probably might have been the closest in that very first combat.
In the very first one where I decided to be close combat, which was probably not wise in retrospect, but yeah. But other than that, I didn't lose hit points in any other combat, so.
I'm getting into
yeah. So I feel like generally we felt like we had a grip on things, even if we didn't have a plan. We were like, okay, we've got this. But yeah, you're right, Josh. I think that moment of like, we thought we had a plan, except there's other stuff going on that we could not have predicted. Yeah.
My vote goes to Brian eating all the hangover pastries. It was very much a case of, oh no, the one character we shouldn't have entrusted with them all. I know it's less dramatic, but it hit me. It hit me close to the
High stakes, high peril.
Yep.
The pastries.
That was so funny. No, the campaign was all aside from the big surprise at the town gates for the last episode. I think for me was overcommitting to trying to wrestle away a trident from a Sahuagin in the first combat. I thought it was fine on paper, but it took too many rounds, and it might not have been worthwhile. That's why I kept it just out of stubbornness to make it radiant and use it later on. But I probably should have looked at the rest of my character sheet and found something else to do.
But it was yours. You know, you claimed it.
I did.
So it's fine.
All's well.
I think for me, it was the first combat because I had a really cool kind of setup for the Sahuagin. So the were-orca, and I think probably we'll put this out like maybe Patreon or there'll be some way that people can get hold of it, the stats. But the were-orca gives them all the ability to basically see, gives them all blind sight. And so the fog cloud that was cast by the priestess was supposed to be a way of, well, firstly, plot-wise, me making sure that you didn't know what happened to the first two rings, but also then just giving them a bit of an edge. So all they needed was to injure you all, and then they would have advantage anyway. And yeah, obviously, Brian then just jumping in, gusting it all away. I was like, oh, okay, that was my were-orca's cool thing, and and now the moon's gone as well. Oh, okay, it's fair enough. No,
It's almost like you put problems in front of us, and we were like, this is causing the problem. We should stop that.
and like puzzle combat, I do love a good puzzle combat as well. So solving the quandary I put in front of you in a way that's like, okay, I'm nerfed, and now my shit is getting beaten out of me. Fair enough. Well done.
And it all ends with the Sahuagin priestess in a barrel.
And that.
What was yours, Nat?
I cheated and I hopped on your.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I shall roll a dice.
Your turn. Roll that dice.
Oh, that dice.
One day we'll get it all in sync. One day.
One day.
No, never.
I
We have
rolled.
to be in the same room.
Oh God, even then, that's unlikely. I rolled under a 10. I got a 4. So this is for all of us. Which PC/moment gets the throw the rulebook out the window, let's homebrew this award?
Interesting.
I honestly,
Josh trying to cover Brian trying to hide the moon in the final combat.
I was just about to say, I think for once this is the one campaign where I didn't try to bend the rules, but yeah, no, you're probably right there.
Is it a rule or just like a sense of physics and bend reality a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for me it was the distance from the bottom of the town to the top of the town, because I really didn't want it to be just, we spend 2 minutes running, but also I did want the scale of the town to be somewhat. So I think we were a little bit fast and loose with maybe there could have been more rounds. The town could have been a little bit more underwater, but that I think for me was the one kind of, let's just. Actually, maybe was that sticking too much to the rules? I don't know.
I don't know. I think you sort of did a fair mix of, because we chatted about it before we started recording about like what is a fair distance. And I mean, initially you were putting us much closer, and I apologize, team. I take responsibility for being like, no, Sean, it wouldn't be 400 feet long. It would be much bigger than that. That's on me.
I also can't work in Imperial. Just about work in metric.
Yeah. But I mean, you did sort of do the rough maths of like it would take you this many rounds, and if you're mostly going to be running, so I don't know. It worked out all right. The town's just a bit soggier. It's still good.
Yeah, the pub is all right. That upside down.
There's still like 4 or 5 other pubs. It's all right.
That's a point. I don't know whether the king's toes are a little bit wet.
That dipped in the sea.
Ooh, new drink, athlete's foot.
Was
French
it?
foot.
Was it? It was it was a king's head, king's shoulders. Was it the knees and toes as one, or was it knees and toes separate?
Oh, good shout. I don't think we ever addressed that. I've always thought that it was two separate pubs, and then you have to kind of go down to one, down to another, down to... But yeah, maybe it's the knees and toes are one pub. You have 2 drinks there, and then you can go back up to the head.
Yeah, and then the reason why it's called the twankers is because once you've done like the head to the toes, you're so far gone that it's not called the twin anchors. It's just called the twankers.
Also, it sits between the king's shoulders and the king's knees.
Mm.
Maybe.
I think for me, it's not so much a rules out the window homebrew thing, but it has to be the way the Eevee flavored Keith's spells and and you could tell you were starting to come into the character when you went with the town. I went, no, it's my arcane focus, which was like, oh wow. But yeah, all the way that you flavored all of the spells to fit with an artificer, I think was really doesn't fit the question, but I just wanted to sort of hone in on that because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It's weird. I
Yeah,
don't
squeeze
normally
bottle
play
weaponry.
I was just going to say, it's weird. I don't normally play artificers, except in games DM'd by Sean. For some reason.
I bring it out in you, perhaps.
You do. Yeah, it's true. It's contagious.
This is going to involve a lot of investigation, and I don't want to play a wizard. Well,
Actually, I don't think I've ever played a wizard.
there you go.
Time to change that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the list.
You can be a wizard that did an apprenticeship as a rock enlarger or reducer.
Yes, I will be a Butlin's wizard.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love it.
Experience.
The School of Butland's Magic. Coming to Patreon soon. No, I didn't say that.
Do we count boo cards for the talk together?
Yes.
Yes.
My boo card has gone somewhere. There we go. Thank you.
There we go. Jump in.
Hmm.
For me, it was the spray bottles. It was Keith's with the spray bottle application. It was just hilarious. Rules at the window. I don't know. I don't play artificers. It was a great in character way to apply solvents. So I thought that was terrific.
I'm struggling to think. Like, I'm sure that there were some other moments where we were just like, yeah, no, rule of cool. Possibly with Emphia leaping. The moment you took the priestess out with just an almighty headbutt, like launching off of what I mean, yeah. In the moment, that was just too cool to say no to. So maybe that one. I mean, maybe that was within the rules. I don't know. Has anyone
Everything that I did with Emphia was technically within the rules. It's all flavor.
So that's all good.
Is that everyone?
I think.
I think so.
I think Evie still needs to
Technically
answer.
haven't gone. I'm really struggling to think of anything. The only thing I'm going to say is the idea that Warren could use disguise self to change his appearance so subtly right in front of us that we wouldn't notice. In my head, I was like, come on,
Yeah.
we'd notice. But
I mean, I've got
I'm
big
gonna play along.
wings.
I do a
Maybe
little
both.
dance to disguise.
The dice do what they're going to do.
My nose is small. My nose is big. Nose is small. Big. Nose is small.
I'm just imagining Flynn Rider now. They never get my nose right.
Mhm.
That's what that was actually where I was going for that reference when I said about the way that Keith had drawn my face on the board. I was going for that exact reference.
Mhm. Well, I thought that's what Steve was going for with the posters originally as well. With wearing
Yes,
his nose.
but not explicitly that reference, which I did not get.
I'm just going to throw this in as a little, again, tangent side hint. If you ever decide to throw yourself like a Disney themed party, a really fun game to play is Pin the Nose on Flynn Rider. You can download a picture without the nose, and then lots of the different noses that cut out. You just stick some magnets on it. Boom. It's good fun. I don't think anyone actually got it on the picture though.
Cute.
Right. Well, I think we are close to the end of our talk together, which seems to have flown
We've
by.
got time for a couple more questions. We started a little bit late off
We
the
did
half
start
hour, Josh.
We did, but
did.
there is one very important question that we have all been asking, but Sean has been refusing to answer. And
Yes.
that is,
Yes.
what is the meaning behind Ichabod Bargain Hut Sock Fist Butt? I had to find the name. What is the meaning behind that name?
What is the
reason-
story?
Okay, the reason I have been refusing to answer it is because I do not know. I never came up with it. I
One of us,
thought it
one
would
of
be
us.
better. Yeah, I thought it would be better to just have one of them hanging. I know all the other ones I've got reasons for, and
Hmm.
most of them are fairly mundane. But his name was so out there. I was like, I can't pin this down. I shouldn't pin this down, and I'm too lazy to pin this down, so I didn't.
Yeah,
Could we-
fair.
Could we at least know what the anagram is?
For that one,
Yeah.
okay. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I am going to tell you that Ichabod and Edith are very close siblings. Their anagrams are first and last parts of the same thing, and Ichabod's is the only one that doesn't actually feature the word cat in the solved.
Ooh.
All the others are idioms about like featuring cat in some way.
Somebody work it out and put it on the wiki, because I would be here forever.
Yeah, it's not being solved in the space of this this episode.
Of what we have left. Okay, so with that answered, what is I'm gonna cheat and pretend to roll a natural one. What's next for our characters?
Mhm.
I mean, Emphy is going back. We kind of covered this before about like would the hootenannies carry on hootenannying, solving crimes. Like I said, I feel like Emphy has got more cruising to do. She's got more planes to see. Maybe after this experience, I don't know. Would she try and head to the plane of water? It sounds very unpleasant there. Or maybe she'll go back to the Feywild for a little bit.
See if you can meet anyone who knows Ichabod.
Yeah, see what happened. Maybe that's the next mystery to solve.
I mean, even if you don't know what's next for them, who's sticking around Kithis? Because I mean, we've set it up. At some point, probably not this year, but at some point there will be a third part to this story. Is anyone likely to still be around?
I think Brian would. One, because I don't think Drew would get back on the Sugar Snap and then go sailing. I don't think the captain would have him on there if he's going to walk her out at like every 4 weeks or whatever the moon cycle is. So I think Brian would stick around to help Drew climatize to his change, maybe do a bit more investigating into the third ring and see if he can get hold of it to give it to Drew, and potentially see if there's anything that is still trying to come after it. Also, I think Brian was quite taken with the Faerunian sign language, so would see if there's a way for him to learn it, and that would be the thing that he would then take back to because the whole thing of Brian's backstory is he's on a pilgrimage from his grove to find knowledge to take back, and I think Faerunian sign language would be the thing that would be the knowledge that he would take back. So he would want to learn that from Isbeth and any of the other Ninetales, maybe Isbeth and Patsy, because they would probably stick around in Kithis, is my guess. And then the other Ninetales would probably disappear. But learn that, help Drew. So he would probably still be around by the time the third part comes along, I reckon.
I've teased a backstory for Keith many times, and I am now committed to not revealing it, but it does actually exist. Believe it or not, it does exist. But in lieu of that, without revealing anything, Keith would probably stick around the town for another couple of weeks to make sure everything's okay, and then these adventures may have given him some kind of hope, and he'd be on to his next gig, whatever that may be.
Maybe on the cruise ship that Emphy is on.
Oh no, maybe. Maybe Keith would bank on Emphia's not going to go back to the cruise ship. No, that's
Surely
too
not.
obvious. She's too unpredictable. This is the safest option.
We need Liz to come back and do another Mercandraw Bog adventure, and then maybe you two can bump into each other.
The ideal place.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Steve, you were going to say.
I think part of where it is just very cross about the betrayal and of the Silver Siren, and would want to know more about that Umberly fountain. I think there's more to explore there, but there is a social calendar of events that he has to attend, so would probably come back, and hopefully there's another ceremony that brings him back to Kithis as soon as possible. But I mean, he's got to go back to Waterdeep because there's something involved. There's some tall step nuptials that he has to handle, and more things going around.
You did give us a save the date without a
I
date.
did, with no date, and one
No
day
date.
the date will be placed, and you'll all know.
And was that a wedding save the date for his wedding, or was that for another event?
His name's on it.
And everything else is blank.
That's it.
I'm
Save
now
the date.
imagining you're going to do a Glee Sue Sylvester and marry yourself.
That would be breaking the rules for the hat of disguise. I don't think I could pull it off with the current tech at my disposal.
Is it one of those? Are these like magical invitations? Every time Warren gets into a relationship, that person's name comes along. Warren breaks up with them, the name disappears. Comes up, disappears, comes up, and then when you actually find someone, the date then appears of when you're getting married.
Well, I mean, you should at some point maybe check, checking for heart tattoos with names crossed out, all the way down.
Oh
It's not
no!
implausible.
Does he have heart tattoos with names crossed out? Is that like a thing you're imagining in the future, or does he have that already?
Oh, yeah.
Poor Warren.
Always the troll.
Whereabouts?
Right. Okay. I'm going to ask one more question. This is for Sean.
Oh.
Was there anything throughout the game, without spoiling anything for a potential third part, that we missed, that you would have liked for us to have discovered?
Okay.
Or explored?
So I was trying to hint about the fountain. I was trying to hint that maybe kind of stick around there for the second the bait wedding. Partially that was for my own ease of, well, then I only have to have you running up the town, and I probably would have made it the same distance, but I would have been happier with how long the town was. That I think you picked up on most of my breadcrumbs. I don't think. I mean, okay, there was a missed gag that yeah, when you went to the Twin Anchors, and I did make the pun that there was a ghost in the corner because the bar serves spirits. That spirit actually does have a name. Like, that wasn't an off the cuff joke. That was it wasn't a planned pun, but it wasn't a off the cuff thing. I guess this is again just me going back to the first episode, like not having everything, not getting everything out that I maybe wanted to. The spirit, Brunette was supposed to say that if you'd asked about the spirit, which, obviously you just thought it was an off the cuff pun, so you didn't ask. But had you asked, she would have told you that she thinks that the spirit's unfinished business is they will pass on to the next world when they either finish a drink or a story, neither of which has happened. I'm just looking. I will give you the name because I have it. Pythias Wintiori.
That's an anagram,
Who
everyone.
sounds like that they were not pithy.
Pythias Wintiori. They appear to be a sea elf ghost of indeterminate gender. That was, I think, the one thing for me that stuck out was like, can I get you back in that pub to talk to the ghost? But it really wasn't important to the story. It was just me being like, come on, I've got more puns for this guy. Yeah. No, I think you picked up on a lot. So I honestly can't think of anything really integral to the story that went awry. No, well done, team.
I actually have a question for, this is not for Sean because Sean figured it out immediately. But all of the Hoot family names that Sean has given are anagrams, and they've appeared in previous campaigns, and people have said them. So obviously I had to make sure that Emphia was also an anagram. So I don't know, did anyone figure it out?
Nope.
Nope, anagrams are not my thing.
No, fair enough.
Are you revealing it or?
Well, I don't know. Do we think that the audiences will have picked up? Yeah, why not? So all of the other Hoots, the names are anagrams of their profession,
Okay.
of their medical profession specifically.
Mm.
So Pixie Hoot was the chiropodist,
Mm.
and Patsy Hoot was the
Chiropractor.
chiropractor, and
Yeah.
Tostin was the dentomancer, right?
Yes.
Is it dentomancy?
Tostin's anagram is orthodontist or
Orthodontist, that was it. Yeah.
Orthodontist.
So Emphia Hoot is an anagram of homeopathy or homeopathy because she's the only one in the family without a doctorate.
Outstanding.
Amazing.
I was waiting if anybody
Good.
if that did come up. I was waiting because Tom's Hoot character from the one shot, I can't remember Deep and Crisp and Even. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
was also there, being part of the Hoot family.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Emphia to make that kind of announcement that, you know, she was the only one, and then just be like, what does I can't remember the name now.
It's in my notes somewhere.
I remember there was the wee baby snow cheeks.
Yeah, that's the one I remember as Wee Baby Snow Cheeks.
I don't think that one's an anagram though.
No.
Also doesn't
It
have a
was
doctorate.
something T Hoot.
Oh, Westy T Hoot.
Westy T Hoot, yeah. So I was imagining Westy to have some sort of doctorate in confectionery design or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
That was a question I was prepared for and never needed.
No, I feel like, you know, once you meet Emphia, you don't need to know the backstory. Not the kind of person you sit down and go, so, because she'll
Why are
tell you
you-
everything that she wants you to know.
I mean, you could tell that because didn't Emphia come out? I know you arrived via airship, but didn't you come out of a portal that the
She
airship
arrived
came out of a
via
portal?
cruise ship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
via big steamboat cruise ship that came out of a portal from the Feywild
Yeah.
and then disappeared again.
And none of
It
us
was-
asked anything on that at
No.
all.
Nope.
No one cared. It's just like, yeah, that's perfectly normal.
At least.
I do wish I'd given you slightly more opportunities to steal Tostin's seat as well.
Oh, poor Tostin. I mean, I feel like I bullied him enough.
If you'd ever gone for a meal together, like there would have been a reservation under the name Hoot, like all sorts of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Possibly
Well-
that reservation. Yeah.
Possibly
I feel like
channeling
we.
yet another, oh god, I was going to say, but possibly channeling yet another nursery rhyme or like fairy tale in that Tostin's always like, Paul's been sleeping in my bedsit.
I think.
Sorry, Nat.
Oh, you go, Nat.
Yeah, what were you saying?
No, I cannot remember what I was going to say, and it was not important, so it's all right.
Sorry.
I think the one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing now that this campaign's done and moving forward into other campaigns, whether they're DM by Sean or anybody else, we've had so far, as we said, Nat's played Emphia, Tom's played a Hoot, we've seen Tostin as an NPC in Neverwinter. Now that the Nine Tails have all been introduced, it'll be interesting to see if they appear in any cities or villages or towns in other campaigns, and if they've got their own families in those areas. So it's like, it's going to be really fun to see. And if I see any Tabaxis in any of Sean's games, I'm going to be like, is that one of the Nine Tails?
They'll take over from the is it a Skitter sibling, which we've not no one's picked up on that plot thread, so it's sort of died down, so we can replace it with is it a Nine Tails?
It'll be a fun game. Nine Tails or Skitter sibling.
Because if you're a Tabaxi, you have to be one.
You've got those two flavors, and then you got Fluffles over in the corner just doing her own thing.
Is Fluffles a Tabaxi though, or is Fluffles like
Fluffles
sent
is
directly from the Cat
domesticated.
Lord to
Is domesticated Tabaxi, beloved of the Cat Lord. We're kind of separate.
Yeah.
We're kind of the slightly more evil ones, I think,
Yeah.
or the cuter ones, according to Gary.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah, we wouldn't want
absolutely.
to. No. Yeah, yes, Fluffles. Speaking of terrifying characters. Oh God, no one put Emphia and Fluffles in a campaign together.
No, put them in a campaign together. Do it.
Let Evie and I be nightmares.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that you can't also put in Her Royal Highness.
I mean, look, Sean, I would be the first one to quite happily play two nightmare characters together, but I don't think that I have the energy to maintain it for 3-hour sessions. That's the problem, I think. Also, poor everyone's ears having to listen to both of those voices.
That's true, but you would have the dulce tones of an uwu voice to offset it,
Yes, that is true.
which everyone loves to hear, and it is not cringy at all.
No,
No.
not at all.
Wish I had a fan now. Just no.
I'm your fan.
Hey.
Hey, somebody-
Wait, no, you can't ask for a boo. That's not allowed.
Oh, I want the final boo.
No,
What do I
oob for you.
Minus cat.
Right, so I think Josh thinks a lot and doesn't say anything. But I think that is the end of our talk together for today. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you to everybody here for playing in Resurgence and DMing Resurgence and just being absolutely awesome people. I personally look forward to playing in other games with everybody in the future. And yes, I love you all. I'm doing this heart, not the other one. But as for you, audience, we love you as well. Thank you for joining us. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you like what you are seeing here, you can join us on Mondays and Tuesdays for D&D content on Twitch from 6 p.m. UK time, and on Fridays for non-D&D content from 6 p.m. UK time. We also do Talk Together and Talking as a Free Action sporadically on YouTube on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Check out our Discord and social medias for when those come out. As I said, they're sporadic. It's all down to schedules and everything and all of that sort of stuff. If you are watching us on YouTube, so please do leave a like, comment, subscribe. Helps with the algorithm so we know what we're doing, when we're doing, and how we're doing it. You can follow us on social media by searching Roll Together RPG. If you'd like to listen to us on podcasts, you can also search us on any of your podcast providers by searching Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. We love them. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. They've made us a Discord. They've made us a wiki. You can find those in the description below. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and we will see you in the next thing that we do. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.